Well, here it is. What is likely to be our final game in charge of AFC Bournemouth, and what a game it is as well. We're fortunate to be here, but we're now playing the fifth best side in Italy, as Lazio are our opponents. And for the second time in my career, it's a Continental Cup final. We lost in the Asian Champions League, but the Europa League Final is a chance for redemption. Yes, hello and welcome along to part 69 of the Head Coach with me, Daniel. We are back with Bournemouth for the end of our second full season in charge. And after winning an FA Cup last season, after winning a League Cup despite a disappointing league campaign, we are back today with a Europa League final after sneaking through our last couple of ties. We've also crept up to 11 in the league because of a couple of good results at the end of the league season. And it sends us into this one in pretty good form. So if you're looking forward to seeing how we get on, as the man who scored virtually all of Lazio's goals in the run is out injured, then please do put a thumbs up on the video. We'll have a look at their squad in detail as we head up towards Hampden Park in Scotland. I was going to say that this gives us an advantage, but from Bournemouth, the travel time's probably not much better. We're going to see how Lazio fare, how we fare, and of course we'll do our season review as well. 3 days ago, we faced Sunderland. We rested people galore. So let's get through to the schedule, see what's been going on, and then have a look at today's opponents. Because we've played 2 games since you were last with me. That crazy game that went to extra time against Everton. We followed it up with a 2-1 win against Everton in the league. 2 for Jose Lopez. I mean, they were out of steam. They played virtually their first 11, whereas we rotated a bit more. And Lopez was definitely the star of the show. And then against Sunderland, do you know what? This was probably one of the nicest moments I had in charge because I put Dom Solanke in up front. He's now 1.5 star ability in the role that we were using him. I mean, he's over the hill physically. He's miles off it. He's not played for ages. But he came in, he scored a tap-in, which ended up being the match winner. And in the end, he was the hero in what will be his final game for the club. We also got a debut to Comer on the left, and he came in and set up the winner. So definitely some good signs for the future for the club. But overall, we're going into this final now in better form than we were, albeit the star players, your Leonardos, Fernandes, etc., haven't really been displaying the quality. So I'm hoping that this is going to be the night it all happens, and at least we've got 2 strikers who can score goals. That's the positive. But if we go and have a look now at the squad, and more importantly, the Lazio squad, we have got a Europa League final. I don't know if these sides have met before. That's the wrong game for that one, isn't it? Let's get to Lazio. Have we got previous meetings? None. Lazio, though, finished 6th in the end in Serie A. In fact, they've still got 1 game to go this weekend and can topple Roma. They've got a better goal difference, but they're ahead of Napoli. There's one positive to take. Their vice-captain is the man out injured. Their manager, Argentinian Eduardo Coudet, is very good mentally. Maybe not quite the best coach in the world. Matteo Guendouzi is the skipper. Castellanos is the injured vice-captain, who is the big goal-scoring threat for them. 22 goals this season. He is out. That is a massive plus. But if we have a look at their playing squad overall, there's still a few pretty good names in here that you'll recognise. As always with Italian squads, they're generally a little bit older and more experienced, but no one over 32, no one well over the hill. Luca Pellegrini there as a left-back. We've got Mulder, a Turkish international defender. Guendouzi, the skipper, we know is very good. It's actually 2 pretty evenly matched squads, I would say. A bit surprised he's marked as world class, but he's very good regardless. This is definitely 2 teams that are on a pretty level pegging. Maybe they're missing their best striker, but they've got good backups that are of a similar level. And God, look at him. 19 jumping reach, 6'5". We're in trouble, folks, because our defenders can't really jump. This is going to be a long old day. Who is their best player according to value and wage? Trizoldi, the striker's pretty good. Pellegrino, a centre-half. Oh, wow, he's elite. Yeah, he is really good. They're probably a bit better than us, in truth. Even a young Danish defender is better than most of ours. So I think it would be fair to say that they go into this as slight favourites and based on league positions in the respective divisions too. But we've got an opportunity here against Lazio, and our squad is looking pretty good. The dynamics are back up to lovely positions. Solanke's going, Mepham's going at the end of the year. Could this be the perfect crowning achievement? They're playing a 4-4-2. Oh, we didn't expect to see that from Italian football today. Can we do them for legs? Jan Couto, right midfield. We've managed him in the head coach before. There's some good players in that squad, isn't there? 61,000 at Hampden, 10 changes recommended from the league game. And as you can tell, I'm probably going to adjust it a bit more because they always put Chris Mepham in. And I don't really know why. He's nowhere near good enough. But let's go and get our team picked. We'll make a few adjustments to this. We'll be back in a minute to run through the 11 we'll take to the field in the Europa League Final. Well, a few alarming concessions as we head into this one. I've taken one or two gambles, but bar the left winger and the striker, the 11 picks itself. The problem with the defence, we've just looked at their 6'5" striker and their star striker who was 6'1", I think. Two of our defenders are under 6 foot. Mendes 5'11", De Joffrey 5'10". Yes, the jumping reach is okay, but it ain't 19, let's put it that way. I've also gone, bizarrely, for Facundo Fernandes on the left. He's been a letdown recently, but he was really good against Everton last week. And I just feel like he's maybe going to deliver today. I'm trusting him. We're also going for Leonardo up front, who's delivered in these moments before. And then if we need to, we can bring Lopez off the bench, who is a better penalty taker, is part of the factor in here. We've also got on the left Wilco van der Lack, who can come on. I mean, both of those are awful penalty takers, so it doesn't really help. But we've also got the likes of Lewis Miley, Georgi, Siganov struggling a bit physically. We're going to try our best. This is the 11 in full. It is Karnazeki in goal, De Joffrey, Mendes and Schmidt the back three. Aarons and Doig the wing backs with Scott and Fernandes in midfield. Then Ferret Aslan and Fernandes out wide with Marcos Leonardo up front. Scored in both legs of the semi-final. Delivered in a lot of big games this year. What will he do tonight? Away at Hampden Park as we face Lazio in the Europa League Final. Let's go and see how we do. Well, 4 changes for our fellow finalists today. And hang on a minute. They've taken out Tresoldi, who is the star striker. They've taken out Badoui, who was the midfielder marked as elite. And they've taken out one of their first choice defenders. I mean, I know they've got a big game at the weekend, but that seems a little off. Unless they're thinking about penalties and people that haven't got 90 minutes in them. Maybe they played on Sunday in the league and went stronger than us. I don't know. But they've still got a good side. And on paper, it's pretty evenly matched. I fancy them defensively. And I'd probably fancy us going forward with the starting 11s. I am going to put the Europa League music on just for the final. We've got to enjoy it. These fans have been fantastic. Let's get down the tunnel and let's show what we've got. At Hampden Park, the Europa League music flows. And we are looking forward to this massively. Will Bournemouth deliver in the final again? The FA Cup final and the League Cup finals we were in were awful football matches in the last 2 years. But those of you that have followed my channel for a long time know that I don't do entertaining finals. My job is to produce winning finals. And so far, we've managed to do that at AFC Bournemouth. However, our only experience of a continental final was in Japan, was with Kashima Antlers, and it went horribly wrong against a big Saudi club. Today, we're playing an Italian giant with a lot of good experienced players instead. Will the outcome be the same? Let's go and find out. The touchline tablet is struggling. There's no referee highlighted, which is a little bit odd. With 12 minutes gone, no shots, and it's a classic Bournemouth final. As Facundo Fernandes on the left picks it up, I need the wing-backs and the wingers to have a good game, and Fernandes so far has just given the ball away. Not ideal. Guendouzi up to Muscas. Am I going to regret that team selection gamble? Zaluski's in. It's straight at Karnazeki, and he's managed to somehow let it in. How has that gone through him? Karnazeki on the big stage. We're 1-0 down, and we don't often come back from this. We're a side that relies on clean sheets, on being ahead in a tie. Maybe this is just one game too far. I mean, let's be honest, it's not a bad season. We've won the League Cup. We've got into the Europa Conference League for next year for the club. But this would be a Europa League trophy and into the Champions League. But my God, what is Karnazeki doing today? It's gone down as an Alex Scott own goal. You can't tell me that was going off target. Half an hour gone. We're completely crumbling. What a day to not turn up. The first goal comes from a Fernandes mistake, the team selection gamble we took. And after all the worries about the aerial threat, it's on the floor, we've been done. But Karnazeki, as Josh Doig gets one back. The left wing back from a corner. I'll tell you what, we do not deserve that, but it gives us a lifeline. Lazio have scored 2 from one shot on target. That is proper cup final stuff, that. Though Gedson's on the front foot, we could go in level. Gedson's got the chance to cut back to Aslan. Across the box, it's off the line. Oh, remarkable stuff. Not been many moments in this game, but the ones that have been there have been huge. It's a clever foul from Scott there. And at half-time, we are 2-1 down to a side that's had one shot on target. Oh, this is just FM at its best, isn't it? Let's get through the dressing room. Let's say... No, I'm going to say you've not been good enough. I'm taking a gamble. I'm going to take Facundo Fernandez off in about 10 minutes. Karnazeki's turned up with a stinker at the real wrong time for us. And then we probably take gambles with the other positions as well. We're getting to the hour mark, and I think I might even gamble on a triple change. We'll give it to just before 65 as Gedson's got a free kick. Chips into the back post, Fernandez up, can't win it. Does fall for him again though on the right-hand side. Cuts it back to Gedson, who's had a good game. Finds Alex Scott. De Joffrey. Aarons has been shocking right wing back as Leonardo's in. He's missed a sitter. Oh, he was offside anyway. Doig's knackered as well. This is bad. Alex Scott is going to come off for Miley. He's not recovered from the own goal. Leonardo off for Lopez. Van der Lack on for Fernandez. Aarons off for Ollie Byrne. I'm going to do all 5. Georgi on for Josh Doig. This is the moment. We've taken the big gamble. There's 25 to go. We've not offered anything in the second half at all. I'm going to encourage the boys. We're going to go positive soon because Lazio will sit behind and try and cling on. And we've got to offer something. It's been a classic, awful cup final. So we'll go positive and we'll wait to see if we get carved open as Gedson Fernandez does really well. Pushing a bit higher up the pitch now. Mendes picks it up at the back towards Aslan. Good touch to Ollie Byrne, who finds Aslan again. Aslan down the right. He's got a chance to take his man on. De Joffrey steaming forward. What a ball that is. Aslan to Lopez. It's 2-2. The flag's gone up. And if the flag's up, it'll be disallowed. Why have we not got VAR in the final? I don't understand. We've had it through the group stages, and in the latters, it's just not here. I'm going to give one more bit of encouragement, and we've gone attacking. But there's only 3 added on, and it's not going to happen. We lose 2-1 after a dubious offside. And we get to watch Lazio lift the Europa League. Not the finish to the season we were hoping for. And unfortunately, it's going to be a season review that ends, well, let's be fair. The start of the season, you'd offered me mid-table and winning the Carabao Cup, I'd have been happy. But that's disappointing. From where we were, and given that late goal as well, I would have loved to have got through it. But through the dressing room we go. I'm disappointed. Not the way to finish our time at Bournemouth, but now we go on the job hunt and we get through the season review. Let's have a look at our time at Bournemouth this year, and we'll be back in a minute to go through the job centre. Well, the last message that we've received the following day might be the only one that can tempt us to stay, and that's the initial budget. Golden Boot Award, Leonardo second in the Europa. We also had a player in the team of the year. Who was it? Ollie Byrne? Really? His Europa League form at 7.13. I mean, he's done all right, and he's actually improving this year, to be fair, but still not looked like reaching his potential. The transfer budget is 64 million with a wage budget of 1.8. What is it at the moment? It's an extra 100 grand on the wage bill, and it's a massive transfer budget for a club that's in big debt, but it's not really the place I want to be staying. I've got to be honest with you. We're going to wait and see what the end of season review gives and then see what jobs are available. But spoiler alert, I've already applied for one. Well, here is our season review. And for the second year in a row, we've won a domestic cup after a very fortunate draw. Let's have a look at our season in full though. The new arrivals, which I've just skipped past by accident, include Gedson Fernandez, who's been a brilliant loan. And that's something we've got to factor in as well. Fernandez and Miley are both loan signings. We've not got a lot in midfield behind it. The other signings have been good, but there are people moving on. There are people aging. And I'm not sure that we're going to be able to replicate what we've done. Even in the league, we did struggle more this year. You can see the people that have moved on, 34, 32, 33. And again, it would be unfair to say that we missed any of them greatly, to be honest with you. If we look at the players out on loan, there's no one there who's really going to break through immediately. So we are going to have to be quite careful if we choose to stay here. We finish 11th with 47 points. The board are happy enough with that, but we prioritised other competitions. This was always going to happen. The Europa League is gut-wrenching in the end. Is that the only game we lost in the whole competition? We had draws. Oh no, we lost 1-0 at home to Real Sociedad. It's just not showing that way because we won the tie overall. So yeah, we lost the second leg, and technically we lost to Everton in 90 minutes in the second leg of the semi. The FA Cup, out to Crystal Palace. The Carabao Cup, a brilliant run, but look at that. 3 in a row on penalties against lower league opposition. Then we played against Salford and got lucky against League One opposition. Had to be rescued by our senior stars in the first leg, and then pipped Newcastle 1-0 in a drab final. Lost in the Community Shield, Leonardo went AWire. The biggest win, 4-0 at Forest, good result there. 2-2 draw at Man United, the match to remember. Fernandes with a 94th minute equaliser. And a 4-1 win at home to Borough, saw goal of the season in the FA Cup. Mikkel Damsgaard, a rare player this season, managed to get himself an award. You can see all the big shirt sellers, a couple of experienced ones coming off there. Finances, we've done what we can, but the club's in a bit of a mess. We won the first manager of the month. Young player of the season was Fernandes in the end, but there weren't really many great records, were there? Jose Lopez became our record signing and almost delivered the big moment. And Solanke, that goal on the final day, made him the oldest goal scorer at the club. 400 matches in charge in that win against Everton in the league, and that our 402nd today, not the most enjoyable. The 30-31 season was a good one, but let's have a look at the supporter profile. We've got bigger on social media. We've got more core fan base. That's good to see. And hopefully that means bigger attendances for the long term. They did creep up towards the end of the year. But the Europa League group stages were just bizarre. We've got to finish mid-table if we stay next season. Sign players to sell for a profit. Don't sign players over 30. Not sure Mike Phelan's been following that. Reached the latter stages of the Conference League. And that's the one thing that's drawing me back, because I really feel I could win the Conference League. But it only takes one bad draw, doesn't it? You want to win a domestic cup in 4 years, and we've already given you 2. Take a bit of a breather, will you? We'll do the end of season team meeting after. We'll do the training camp destination after as well. We'll go to the US. And Fernandes is being linked with PSV. He has got a release clause, I think, £54 million. So we could end up losing some of the superstars as well. Not an ideal start to the summer. But the idea is we're not going to be here if all goes to plan. We've done a bit of work with Bournemouth, but we have got a big reputation as well. We're up to 4-star. We've got a continental licence. We've won the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup in 2 years here. Surely now people are going to want us and we're going to be in for a talk with a big job. So let's have a look at the centre. I'll show you the one I've applied for at the top. Chelsea have sacked their manager. They finished 8th and missed out on Europe because of Bournemouth's Carabao Cup win, ironically. But other than that, at the moment, there's no massive jobs up. But that's partly because most of the European seasons finish next week. So if we go over to the job security instead, you can see that there are some big ones potentially on the horizon. The biggest one, and the one I'd love to have, is AC Milan in Italy. Second in the league, and he's going to get sacked. I think the expectation there is to win at all costs. Then you also look at some of the big sides, Union Berlin, Ajax. That would be a really interesting job. There's a couple there that I think, yeah, I could really sink my teeth into. But AC Milan is the one that if I had to be pressed, I'd really like. They've still got a few of the very experienced players. We go down here, you can see there's a few of the over 30s, albeit Loftus-Cheek leaving this year, Pulisic the same. Most of the others with a deal for 1 more year. But the one thing I like about this Milan squad, there's also a lot of very good young players coming through. They've got young players that they've brought in from abroad, like this German centre-half. Can't jump, but can do everything else. And then they've also got their own superstars through the academy. David Moroni, 18-year-old holding midfielder worth 100 million. Yeah, he might be one of the best wonder kids I've ever seen. That is a job that I would be delighted to have. And of course, with a holding midfielder of that quality, we'd have to change shape as well, wouldn't we? So AC Milan is the job I'm desperate to get. I really hope it comes up. They're not going to win the league, so I'd imagine he will get sacked after this game. Unless they've got anything else they're playing for. No, they went out of the Italian Cup. They went out of the Champions League. They're not going to win anything. They won the Super Cup final, but I'm not sure that's enough to save him. So let's hope we can get the AC Milan job. If not, we might have to do another season at Bournemouth, but we will be applying for some of the big ones as and when they come up. And hopefully we'll be going to a European giant. If you're looking forward to finding out if we do and seeing what happens this summer after a disappointing end to a strange year at Bournemouth, then please do put a thumbs up on it. We'll finish on this screen to show that, look, if you showed any Bournemouth fan this, they'd be delighted, wouldn't they? 11th, a winner of the Carabao Cup, Europa Conference League football for next year, and Europa League runners-up this year. It's not bad on paper, is it? After winning the FA Cup last season, we've given Bournemouth the greatest spell of their history. But now it's time, I feel, that we push on to the elite level. We'll find out if we can. If you want to stay up to date and find out if we do, subscribe and turn that notification bell on. We'll be back on Monday with the answer to the question, and hopefully with job interviews and job offers from elite super clubs. In the meantime, though, we'll be back with a Southend United save tomorrow. That playlist is in the eye above, as well as some of our specials, the Twitch channel and the football podcast too. Let me know what you would do if you were in this position of the save. Would you look for another job? Would you stick and try and win the Conference League? Of course, we might not be given the option if we don't get a job offer, but I'd love to know what you would do in this position. But for now, a massive thank you to you guys for watching and following along for another season. A massive thank you to HelloFresh for their support in the UK. 60% off your first box plus free delivery using a link in the description below. And I'll see you again here on Monday afternoon as we find out whether we've got a new job or whether we're sticking it out for another season at Bournemouth. I'll see you there to find out.